93.6 Global Radio.
So I'm joined on the show this afternoon by the voice of the expats here on the Costa del Sol, a lady who you would have seen in local and national media. Very busy indeed, and I'm delighted that she's been able to squeeze us into her schedule today. Anne Hernandez, lovely to see you again.
Lovely to see you. Thank you. Why wouldn't I squeeze you in? You're an old friend.
It is great to see you. And so many rumours, misinformation, Brexit this, Brexit that, what's happening, what's not happening.
Yeah.
You run an organisation called the Brexpats, don't you?
An association, Brexpats In Spain, and we have in excess of 6,500 members, yes, throughout all of Spain, yeah.
What is the most common thing you're asked at the moment?
The most common thing at the moment, well, it depends on the age. And the personal sort of status of people. I would have to say of the pensioners, it's the potential loss of healthcare, the state healthcare, like the equivalent of the Spanish, the English NHS type of thing, because there's a lot of them that either have an existing condition, they are over 70, they're in the middle of treatment. I mean, there's friends that are in the middle of having cancer treatment. There's a gentleman that I spoke to that has a hospital appointment for an operation at Costa del Sol on the 12th of April, etc. And they're all very worried that if the UK pulls the plug on paying for that healthcare, then they just can't afford it.
What's been the reaction from the Spanish camp so far?
The Spanish are wonderful. We're in the best place here. That's all I can say. I can't thank them enough, seriously. We feel totally abandoned with regards to the UK. The week of Mrs. May's original, the first time around, of trying to put through her withdrawal agreement, and it was declined by 230 votes. I had, during that week, and this is no word of a lie, I had 19 interviews. You should ask me how many of those were British-based, and I can tell you, not one single one. I even did Chinese television and a Russian news agency. The world is interested, it seems, in us, apart from our British government, which is really sad.
There does seem to be a lot of thinking of head in the sand at the moment. Oh, it'll blow over, it'll be okay. It probably won't. Things like residencia, driving licenses, we're hearing a lot about at the minute.
Padron.
Yes, I'm the Padron. Now, from my point of view, Anne, my driving license is Spanish. I send the Padron. I've got my residencia in place. I pay my taxes. Do you think I'm safe?
As safe as you can be, yes.
They're not going to send me to Barnsley or anywhere?
You wish. No, I don't think, to be truthful, I don't. I mean, we collaborate very closely with the British Embassy and the consulate, and at every meeting we say, get on the Padron, get your residencia and change your driving licence. If you haven't done so by now, I'm afraid a lot of the authorities, the Tráfico and the Comisaría, the National Police, are not offering appointments before the 1st of April. One, they've been inundated and can't deal with the demand, although they deployed 2,000 extra staff to cope with our demand. But they're now saying there's no more appointments until after April. They're waiting to find out what happens, basically. So with regards to your question, I think you're as safe as you possibly can be.
In terms of residencia, if someone hasn't got that sorted yet, can you explain a little bit about what residencia means and what steps you need to take?
Okay, well, a residencia, it's not actually a residencia, it's how we call it. It's the green card. It's getting on the certificado de registro, which means you're registered as a foreign resident. In the first instance, you need to be on the inhabitants register, which is the Padron, and that's at your local town hall. And you get a piece of paper stamped that proves that. And then you have to get an appointment online, if you can, for your green card, this residencia type of thing. And you have to have proof of income if you're not a worker, not a student, and not a pensioner, which at the moment around this area is a minimum of €5,188.60 as an EU citizen. The difference is, as a non-EU citizen, it potentially is what's charged at the moment, though I don't know if there'll be special concessions made, goes up to $25,816 that you have to have proof of per annum in a bank account.
British cars, I still see a lot of UK registration plates here on the Costa del Sol.
Yeah, well, that would all have to change, particularly those that are called, not a derogatory term, they're known as swallows. They're people that come over here, perhaps bring their car, they bring a camper van or something like that, for more than 4 or 5 months maybe. That's going to be difficult. And we don't know quite what the rules are going to be for them. But as it stands at the minute, they can only remain here for 90 days in any 180 days, which means they've got to leave the country, the Schengen area, for 90 days. A lot of them then say, well, that's all right, I'll pop over to Portugal Portugal. Well, no, that's still in the Schengen area. That's not leaving it. Oh, well, okay, I'll go to Gibraltar. Well, you're going to do an awful lot of shopping in Gibraltar for 90 days, aren't you? Would you want to live down in Gibraltar for 90 days? But we don't know if there's going to be a special concession for a longer sort of temporary residence here.
So, Anne, I don't want to sound too much like Noel Edmonds, but deal or no deal, we keep hearing about the economic implications, all the other bits and pieces, but to you and I actually living here, what is the difference between a deal or a no deal?
A deal, much as it was voted down and obviously not wanted, in the first half of the withdrawal agreement, it actually protected, it defended citizens' rights. So that would have been quite happy for us, to be truthful. I can't say I'm overly pleased that it wasn't approved. However, a no deal will be, what can I say, the demise of everybody. It's awful to crash out. I mean, the Spanish call it a hard Brexit or a soft Brexit, if that explains it better. They don't seem to understand a no deal means we're just out, we're at the mercy of everybody. We're out on a limb. I mean, Brexit so far has cost £40 billion. That's a heck of a lot of money that could have been invested in better areas. I mean, the police force, the funding has been cut, the national health, etc. You've got all of these people sleeping on the streets, a lot of which war veterans. Really, I think is a horrible way to treat people. It could have been better invested. This has just been a total waste of time and money, and has now been proven to not really be wanted by seemingly the majority, although at the time the majority did, a very slim majority, but they did. Now, do you want me to tell you something really exciting? Yes. Which is good news for all of us Mijas residents, certainly, and the Costa del Sol, Andalucia. Okay, well, this morning I was called to an impromptu, let's say, meeting with the Mayor of Mijas, Juan Carlos Maldonado, and a press conference to be told that next week I am meeting them. I have been asked to collaborate with them on putting together, let's call it a package, that will defend the rights of all of us British residents here in the Junta de Andalucia, certainly Mijas, for the next 4 years. So happy days, we can sit back for 4 years and worry about it then. So I'm really pleased about that, actually, and I think I'm going to be given a table or a desk or something at the town hall area in La Cala. So I'll be talking to people that need to come in. There'll be questionnaires. We need to get lots of information, and let's put together a really good package to find out what people are actually worried about losing in the event of leaving, which is not certain even now.
Well, it's all exciting stuff. We can, of course, keep up to date with you and track what's going on through your Facebook group, which is Brexpats in Spain.
Yes, it is.
Always some lively discussion going on there.
There's lots of lively discussions going on there, yeah. But we do have Brexpats Info. We have a website which is purely just a forum for information. We have got 4 Facebook groups. We've got 2 websites, or you can email us. We're always happy to help anybody, and we've got the experts on board that will work totally for free, and obviously professional information. Don't listen to Bob in the bar. He's not always right. He might have been here 40 years, but things have changed in 40 years, I was only speaking to a gentleman yesterday, and he said, well, I don't need to be legally resident here because I'm a pensioner. And I said, well, how do you work that? He said, well, nobody's going to get rid of me. I'm a pensioner. Well, happy days if that's what he wants to think. Are we in denial? I don't know. Lots of ostriches here, it seems, in Spain, I'm afraid.
And thank you so much for joining me today. As always, a real pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Dave. Thanks for listening.
And good luck with your busy new role.
No, thank you, yeah.
All over the Costa del Sol.
93.6 Global Radio.